Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. So today's topic is mindset, and the title is 5 tips to help you stick with your goals. So today's podcast happens to be for January 1st. So this does coincide, obviously, with New Year's resolutions in regards to the title of what we're discussing is how to stick with your goals. So there are infinite books on how to stay motivated, how to set good goals, how to give yourself the best chance for success when it comes to setting goals and being able to see them through until the end. So we've actually had some of those podcasts ourselves, talking about those topics ourselves. So in podcast 124, okay, it was a mindset podcast. We discussed the idea of setting SMART goals. And the acronym SMART stands for kind of 5 components of setting a goal that'll help you be more successful towards that goal. So whether it's specific, whether it's measurable, whether it's relatable to your goal, whether it's time sensitive. So there are tons of components to when you set a goal. How do you set it in the parameters that'll give you the best chance to succeed at it? So if you're going to listen to this podcast, it would be also helpful to listen to that one. So that's podcast 124, setting SMART goals. So if you did set goals for the New Year's, okay, or if you're struggling to accomplish goals you've already had for years on end, go listen to podcast 124 and structure your goal according to what's taught in that podcast. And that'll give you the best chance for success in terms of mindset framework around your goal. Okay, and then what we're going to discuss in this podcast is going to be just kind of like other kind of 5 helpful tips unrelated to how you specifically set the goal, just more so mindset around the goal itself. Okay, so for myself, I've been a personal trainer now for 18 years. I've actually been lifting weights for 20 years. And in 20 years, I've only ever taken 7 days off as like the longest stretch of time without me working out. And I've done that twice. Once was related to a surgery, and the other one was actually related to kind of like depression and anxiety, which would kind of kick my butt and surprise me that I was having trouble with working out during that time. But in 20 years, I've only ever taken a full week off twice. So that's pretty damn good consistency, right? So when I'm talking about how to set goals, I am coming from a position of somebody who has done that. So this is not just what I read in a book or read in an article. This is actually what has worked for me. And since I've been a personal trainer for 18 years, this is things that I've found have worked for my clients as well. Now, even in my 20 years, I've actually had several years where I actually worked out every single day for a full year. Okay, so I did that for several years at different times, and it can absolutely be done. So I've done it enough to myself that I proved it that I can do it. So I still usually average working out 4, 5, 6 days a week. So very rarely do I ever work out only 2 or 3. That's very, very, very rare. But I have done it for a full year at a time. Now, even when it comes to nutritional stuff, I've done tons of goals that were related to nutrition and being able to stick with them, both short-term and long-term. So I've lost 50 pounds in 10 weeks or less. Okay, that's less than 3 months. I've lost 50 pounds, and I've done that 3 times. In one time, I actually lost 50 pounds in 8 weeks, which is bonkers, okay? But it can be done. So those are kind of short-term goals that I have in my mind. That's what I consider short-term, is only like, say, a couple months at a time. I've actually had a goal before where I was trying to gain weight when I was younger, and my goal was to drink a gallon of milk a day. And I actually did it for 2 years. So for 2 years, I drank a gallon of milk every single day. That is crazy. But I did it. I was able to stick with that goal and accomplish those things. So here are 5 tips that have helped me over the years, okay? And they've helped clients as well, so hopefully they'll help you. And then also go check out that podcast 124 on how to structure your goals correctly, okay? So the first thing that I give as a tip, and this isn't stuff I always give to clients every time. I kind of do it depending on what that individual client's needs are. But if I was talking to a general group of people, which is what this podcast is, here are 5 tips. The first one is decide to do it in segments, not per day. So when you think of your goal, one of the main mistakes people make is they decide per day whether they're going to do their goal. So if my goal is to work out every day, I'm not going to wake up today and say, well, do I feel like working out? No, I absolutely won't. Actually, most days you're not going to feel like doing what you should do. So you're going to feel like hitting the snooze button rather than eating a good breakfast. You're going to feel like going out with friends at lunch and eating whatever the hell you want to eat and use their friends being there as a bullshit excuse for why you didn't eat what you should have ate. Okay? You're going to get home at night. You're going to be tired because you mismanaged your food correctly throughout the day, or you didn't sleep well the night before because you were up watching bullshit on Netflix or YouTube. And then you're not going to go do the stuff you should do in the evenings because you deem yourself to be too tired. Okay? So if every single day you per day decide whether you want to do the thing or not, you will absolutely fail towards your goals because you will not feel like doing it every day. So I own a gym because I love working out, but I don't love working out every day. I get busy some days. I wake up late some days. I'm tired some days. I felt like shit some days, but I got them in. So, like I said, I've worked out every single day for a full year. I promise you, every single day I did not feel like working out. Okay? So, if you decide per day, you will fail because what your goals are, chances are they're going to be different than what you currently do habit wise. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to do it because you'd already be doing it, right? So, this is a new habit, a new behavior, a new way of thinking, something new to you. It is not easy to add something new to your life, especially when most people already feel stressed with what they're trying to do. So, don't decide per day. You will fail because you will not feel like doing it per day. Decide to do it in segments. So you might say, let me do this, okay, as I have it scheduled. Maybe it's not a daily thing you're trying to do. Maybe it's 3 times a week, okay? But you're going to say to yourself, okay, let me do this for a month. So no matter what I feel like per day, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to commit to a month. After a month, let me see what those results are. So you have to decide to do it in segments, not per day. And I'd actually argue that 1 month is not enough. Okay. Now there are things I've done, financial goals, there are relationship goals, there are character development goals I've done. So outside of the realms of just training and nutrition. And sometimes 1 month is enough to see if a certain behavior is correct. But most often, and especially when it comes to nutrition and training, I would give yourself 3 months, okay, 12 weeks. I would commit to something for 12 weeks. You can do whatever the hell you want to do for 12 weeks. So if you say, oh, I can't do it for 12 weeks, bullshit. Okay, you do things every single day you don't want to do, and you do them every day. You go to work, okay? I don't know, whatever the hell, you do the dishes, you do your laundry, you clean your house, you clean the bathroom. You do shit every single day that you don't want to do. So don't use that as an excuse. That's bullshit. Okay? So just commit to 12 weeks. See what results you get out of it for 12 weeks. Then you would decide whether you want to do another unit of time or not. So don't decide per day, decide to do it in segments. Okay? And if it's nutrition or training, I would suggest 12 weeks as a segment. Okay? The second thing is don't expect it to be easy or convenient. So this does kind of coincide with the first one, but it's as important that we separate this. Because if you expect it to be easy, it won't be. If you expect it to be convenient, it won't be. The reason why is if it was easy and convenient, you'd already be doing it. It wouldn't be a new goal because you'd already be doing it. Okay? So it's going to be hard. It's going to be inconvenient. You're going to have trouble creating this new thing as a standard way of life. That's it to be expected. It does not mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the goal you're trying to do. You're just trying to fit it into a life that is probably already stressful and busy. What you have to recognize is that the goal that you want is probably more important, okay, is a higher priority than some of the things you're currently doing in your day. So if you're spending 2 hours watching TV at night, and you have a goal, a thing you want to accomplish that might take 20, 30 minutes, you are going to have to take 20 to 30 minutes away from the 2 hours of watching TV. 2 hours of watching TV will not improve your life. If you take 20, 30 minutes away from that, it will not ruin your life. Okay? Watching TV, if you say, well, that's how I relax, that's a pretty lazy ass way to relax. It's actually a way of relaxing that doesn't actually have long-term benefit. Okay? So we did a podcast, number 420, titled The Fast Food of Self-Care. And I would highly suggest you go listen to that. Okay? 420, The Fast Food of Self-Care. And the reason why I'd suggest you listen to it is there are ways to reduce stress, reduce anxiety that are temporary fixes that don't have long term beneficial building upon effects. So in that podcast number 420, the fast food of self care, we talk about how some of them, okay, the easy ones, the mindless ones that make us feel good in the now, but they don't make us feel good in the future, are like watching TV, watching YouTube, watching Netflix. But there are forms of self care that actually have longer lasting effects and they build upon each other. Okay, that would be like doing something for others, volunteering, doing an active hobby like creating art or photography, or reading a book can actually be sometimes an escape for certain people if they're a book reader naturally, or maybe reading a book would be better than watching TV. So you have to personally find is what are the forms of self care that I have to do every single day. Chances are, if you have to do them every single day, they might not be a building upon type self care. Okay? So, just something to think of is again, it won't be whatever your goal is, it won't be easy and it won't be convenient to add it to your regular life. So, you have to recognize that you are going to have to prioritize it above things you already do. So, don't try to add it to what you already do, it ain't going to happen. Okay? Don't add what you're doing now, what you want to add. I'm sorry. Don't add your new goal to what you already do now. It ain't going to work. Because chances are what you already do now, you deem to be completely full, and you deem to be already be at your edge or at your level or at your fullness of what you can handle. So don't try to jam something new in, okay, when there's no room. You are going to have to replace what you want to add with something that you already do. Something you already do is going to have to lessen or eliminate. Okay? So if you're going to try to add a new hobby, a new character development, okay, of something like not gossiping, well, then you have to get rid of gossiping. But what do you do in its place? How do you have a conversation with somebody if all you're used to do is gossiping about other people? You're going to have to find some other topics to talk about. That's going to be difficult. That's not going to be convenient because you have to learn a new way of communication. So even something not related to training and nutrition is going to be hard and it's going to be inconvenient because you have to change your mindset, change your life structure. You have to change things about your life. You have to replace things. You can't just keep everything the same and jam something new in. Okay? So, number one was decide to do it in segments, not days, and preferably 12-week segments. Number two is don't expect it to be easy and convenient. It will be hard, it will be inconvenient. One of the ways to get around the difficulty of that is to think of replacing something you already do. Okay? Decide on the priority list of what you do. If something is a lower priority than what your new goal is, replace it with your new goal. Okay? The other thing we want to look at, third tip we have, is expect imperfection. So there's a book called How to Be an Imperfectionist by Stephen Guise, Guise. Okay? Has a great book because if you set the parameters for your new goal to be always these pristine, perfect scenario type results, okay? Never going to happen. Ain't going to work. So when I did my gallon of milk a day per year, every gallon of milk every day, and I did it for 2 years, there were times where I was up till 2 in the morning trying to finish that damn gallon of milk because that was like I had mismanaged my day, got stressed, was busy, was on vacation, traveling, doing whatever, and this is the only time I had it. There were times when I knew I was going to have a shit day in terms of busyness, so I got up actually early to try to start drinking the milk early. So this is no lie, I would actually get up 20, 30 minutes early and try to get as much of that milk down as I could before I'd start my day. So it seems crazy, but it meant something to me. I wanted to drink a gallon of milk a day because at the time I thought it was going to help me gain size. I was tired of being skinny. I was tired of being weak. I was tired of being trapped in a body that I didn't like. It was a body that I was determined to change. And if drinking a gallon of milk let me change my body, then freaking hell yeah, I was going to drink that milk. Okay? There was no choice. I already knew I didn't like the body I was in. I had suffered mentally with the unhappiness of that body. And I'll be damned if I'm going to stay in that body. I'm going to do what I need to do to change it so I can be happy. And I can live the life that I want to live that represents who I truly am. So I drank that damn milk every single day, whether I had to get up early, whether I had to stay up late, whether I had to do it driving in the car between appointments. It didn't matter what the hell I needed to do. I was going to drink that damn milk because I wanted to change. And that's the type of mindset you have to have when you set these goals. Okay? Everything else be damned. You want that goal because you know it's important to you. You know it'll make your life better. You know things in your life are going to improve if you get this goal. No longer have to live in like unhappiness. No longer have to live in shame, depending on what the goal is. You no longer have to live like hiding something if it's a character development goal. So you no longer have to live with that negative bullshit. You're 100% in control. Make the change. Do the damn thing every damn day and get the results you want. That's the way you approach it. Okay? Now, with that, expect imperfection means that you will not have a pristine, perfect moment every day to get this in. You're going to jam shit in. Sometimes you're going to half-ass it. Sometimes you're going to only have time for 5% of what you really want. Okay, that's life. That's the way things go. So you have to be willing to accept the fact that you are going to do it some days and it will not be your best. So don't just skip it because you can't do it perfectly. Get something in. Something is better than nothing. Even 50% is better than 0%. Even 40, 30, 20, 10% is better than 0%. So you have to expect, not accept even, expect ahead of time that things will not be perfect. So that way when that day comes, you'll just get in what you can that day, roll into the next day, and never miss a beat. Okay? Fourth tip is to schedule it first. It must be treated at the same as all other important things. So like we said in the second tip, was if you want to add something new to your life, you can't just jam something new into all the same shit you already do now. You have to replace. Okay? Find something of a lower priority and lessen the amount of effort you give to that, effort or time, and put in the new thing. Or completely eliminate the old thing to put in the new thing. Okay? But you need to schedule these new goals as like the most important things of the day. So for example, I told you I got up early some days to start drinking the milk because I already knew whatever else was in the day was going to prohibit that or cause problems. So I made that milk a huge priority. Priority enough that I got up early to start drinking it. Okay? You need to treat your goals as if they're important. What would you do with an important appointment? You would know when it was going to be during the day and you'd schedule the rest of your day around it. You need to set these new goals as that important. They need to be structured into your daily routine on purpose, okay? Not just jammed in wherever they fit, if they fit. That'll never work, okay? So one of the other tips you can do is, if it applies to the goal you're trying to do, is you can pair it with a current behavior. So sometimes one of the goals I had in the past was I wanted to listen to a podcast about spirituality. So it was a spiritual goal that I had. And I wanted to listen kind of like a sermon every day. And I found that when I was getting ready in the morning, if I was showering and brushing my teeth, it was about 20 minutes. And that was about the length of the podcast that I wanted to listen to. So I got a Bluetooth speaker for my shower. So I could sit on my phone, turn on the speaker. I could listen to it while I'm showering. I can continue to listen to it while I'm brushing my teeth. So I paired the new behavior with a current behavior. I was already going to shower. I was already going to brush my teeth. I was already doing that every day. I just added the podcast to it. Okay? So in terms of scheduling it first, is you can schedule it by pairing it with a current behavior that you know you already do, or you can schedule it as making it important and then scheduling other things around it. Okay? So as much as you can, try to make it as high of a priority as possible. So that way it can be scheduled. So if you say, well, I have work, what am I going to do? Go to work and then schedule it as the first damn thing you do in the evenings. Okay? Maybe you do it before work. If it's important to you, you won't ask stupid bullshit questions. Okay? That are like, I have this, I have that. This is an excuse, that is an excuse. The right question is, I want to do it. Where can I fit it in? Not, well, I can't fit it in because I have this, this, this. Okay? Get rid of that bullshit behavior. Okay? That's lazy mindset. The fifth tip, last tip, is accountability. It will absolutely be helpful on the days that you don't want to do it to have some form of accountability. So you'll hear people talk about accountability partners. Okay? And that's somebody you share the goal with, you check in with on a semi-regular basis, but you have an accountability factor to them that if you don't do it, you have to report to them that you didn't do it. Sometimes that's helpful, but that's really only helpful if the partner is very good, okay, at what they do. If they're also screwing up at the same time, you're both going to accept each other's bullshit excuses and no one's going to really motivate each other, okay? So you can have a partner if the partner's successful and a good partner, a supportive partner, a go-getter type partner. You can also do accountability through social media nowadays. You can post what your goal is on Instagram or Facebook and then mark down every single day you do it. People like I can't freaking stand when somebody rags on someone else about making like a fitness post. They're like, oh, there's another gym post. All we ever see from you is posts about the gym. Why the hell would you not celebrate that? That person's making a positive difference in their life, and you're going to be a negative Nancy / asshole and try to bring them down because they're making a quote unquote gym post. Cheer them on. Why the hell would you ever talk negatively towards someone trying to improve their life? That's horrible, horrible character. Okay? And if you consider yourself that person's friend, you're a shitty friend. So if they post every single day, got to the gym this morning, say congratulations every single freaking day. Don't talk negatively on somebody trying to motivate themselves and improve their life. Come on now. Okay? Another form of accountability you can do is this is what I have a job for. For some part of the reason is people will hire a trainer. So I have tons of people who come to me and they kind of know what they should be doing, but they like having somebody to be accountable to. I'm standing there waiting for them to show up, so they know they're going to have to show up and do some work. Okay, and then also they learn some things along the way, and there's some other goals we're working on. But a lot of people want to commit money to hire me to make sure that they're accountable for their actions, and there's nothing wrong with that if you have the finances for it, okay? It can be a good way to educate yourself on the topic. So if you have a fitness goal, obviously a personal trainer would work well. If you have a nutrition goal, some personal trainers who know about nutrition or a nutritionist would work well. Okay, if you have a character development goal, maybe you want to go see somebody who's like does life coaching or like a spiritual advisor who maybe has some benefits towards character development, towards if it's a religious-based kind of character development. There's a lot of people out there who would be good mentors. So think of it in business. People will get business mentors because they want to learn from that person. That person already probably made a million mistakes. They're going to learn from them before they make all the mistakes themselves. So having accountability to someone, even if you pay them, that's totally fine, okay? That's just committing money to it, and sometimes that can make it seem even more important to you and help you even be more accountable because you won't want to waste the money, okay? So those are 5 good tips. First of all, go check out podcast 124 about setting smart goals so you know if whatever goal you're setting is set up correctly to be successful at it, okay? Then our 5 tips from today is decide to do it in segments, not in days. You won't feel like doing it every day. So decide to do it in a section at a time. Do it for that time, then decide if you want to continue. Okay? Number 2 is don't expect it to be easy and convenient. It will be hard, it will be inconvenient. It will be a pain in the ass. Otherwise, you'd already be doing it. So set priority list of what you do every day. Put that new thing in above something else that's not as important. Okay? So replace, not jam it in. Number 3 is expect imperfection. So check out that book, How to Be an Imperfectionist by Stephen Guise, and understand that you're not going to get the perfect scenario every single day. Just get in what you can, move on to the next day. Number 4 is schedule it first. It must be treated the same as other important things. And that means that you have to kind of prioritize it in your day above things that maybe aren't as important or can wait till tomorrow, quote unquote. Another tip within that one is to pair it with a current behavior. So like I said, I added the podcast while I was brushing my teeth and showering. So if you can add it to something you're already doing every day, great. That's just going to help you with kind of staying more on top of it and consistent with it. Number 5 is accountability. Find a partner, do it on social media, hire a mentor or a guide, but find some form of accountability so that way somebody can tell you when you're acting like a jerk or a goofball or a jackass and you're kind of accepting your own bullshit excuses. They can call you out on it and hold you more accountable than what you could do to yourself. Okay? So hopefully this was a good help. Try to incorporate as many of these things, if not all of them, into what you're doing with your new goals. And I promise it's going to help. If you need any help towards achieving goals, setting goals, anything related to fitness, nutrition, even lifestyle things, character development, any of that kind of stuff. So we can help you. Our email is brutalironGym@gmail.com. Email us, we'll help you ourselves, or we'll get somebody in touch, or we'll get you a resource, okay? So whatever the scenario is that maybe you need help with, if there's something that you need help with, otherwise you're not going to be able to move forward, get the damn help, okay? Even if it's not from us, go get help, okay? Go find out what you need to know so you can move forward towards your best life, okay? Our email is brutalironGym@gmail.com, so email us if there's anything we can do, okay? Cool. If you like the podcast, please share it with family and friends. The more people we help, the happier the world will be. Also, if you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. The podcast is for you, so we want to know what you want to learn about. You can tell us at our email at brutalirongym@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening. And thank you for watching.